So, fruit is such an interesting term, but I feel there's not enough respect for the fact that actually vegetable has no botanical meaning.
Oh my
and it's
God,
so interesting.
David, we know this.
Tomatoes.
Anyway, man, you have to stop talking about this because it's
The Chainsaw Minute.
I'm David, and this is your dose of Chainsaw Man. You can join us every Friday where we see what masterpiece Fujimoto put out.
I'm Jordan, and if you're looking for regular Shonen Flop goodness, you can find our next episode, our 4-year anniversary special. What the fuck? Yeah, no, it's our 4-year anniversary special where we rank everything we read this year on this Monday. Goddamn.
Right, and just heads up, these recordings are open to everyone, so listen in and chat along with us on the Shonen Flop Discord every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. Big shout out to everyone who is in the audience. We appreciate it. It's just a little bit of fun, and seeing those comments while we're recording gives us life.
Yes.
You can find a link to it in the show notes or on our site, shonenflop.com. And Jordan, though, the opposite of our wonderful listeners is the devil baby. So what was your devil this week?
Well, real quick, David, did we mention this is going to be on a different feed soon?
Fuck, Jordan's right. So along with that, just a heads up, listeners, we are moving Chainsaw Minute off the Shonen Flop feed. It's going to be on its own feed. You can find it at csm.libsyn.com. You can also still find it on Patreon and YouTube. We did a poll. People said don't move it, but we know not everyone listening to Shonen Flop wants to listen about Chainsaw Man, so we're moving it to its own feed. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be tool posting it for a little bit till we've really got things sorted out, but after that, we're going to be migrating it, and we'll make a big announcement when that happens.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for reminding me, Jordan.
No problem.
And Jordan, what was your devil this week?
David, this is gross. It was the poop devil. Specifically, the poop devil that my cat had to deal with. My cat, Gara. His name is Gara because he has natural eyeliner. He suffers from fecal impaction, in which... This is a recurring problem which Gara must deal with, and it always makes him very uncomfortable. It is very sad and also very gross. So that's what I'm dealing with. I just got back from Disney. For reference, right before we went to Disney, he had this issue. And, we always get back very late.
Oh, God. Well, you are a trooper. Ravioli has a similar issue where sometimes there's just a look on her face and you can tell there's some poop stuck on her butt. But Jordan, mine, speaking of health, mine is the physical devil. I have my physical next Monday, so now I have to eat really, really good because I'm 2 pounds over where I was last year, and my doctor will be disappointed in me if I've gained weight. So if I'm really good this week, I can be exactly where I was last year. So that's my goal right now.
I wish I was only 2 pounds over where I was last year, David.
Oh, it's okay, man. We all go through stuff.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got to eat better so you don't get poop stuck in your butt.
Yeah. Hey, you got a trainer now, man. That's a great first step.
Yeah. Anyway.
Enough about that. Tell us the plot summary for...
Chapter 165! Everyday Scenery!
Gilbert Gottfried special.
It will always peak. I'm sorry. It has to.
Just like it's peak fiction, Jordan. That's fine.
Did I sound like Gilbert Gottfried when I said that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Nice. All right, well, here's the fucking plot summary. The group is on the way to bring Denji to a sushi restaurant when they see a dead body on the train platform. Denji is kind of shocked by this. Understandable. I would be too. But the rest of the crew's kind of like, whatever. It's normal now.
Yeah, they're like, Dennis, you haven't seen a dead body before?
Yeah, it's like homelessness. Yeah, we know it sucks, but whatever. We're used to it. We don't really do anything about it. The best sushi restaurants are out of the question because they were either burned down or their chefs just fucking died. So they're gonna go to a cheap place, which is one of the only places left. Denji then asks Asa, hey, why do you want to fight me? And she replies that if she wins, he will be saved. Popcorn, David.
Fami elaborates that his contract specifies that Dennis live a normal life. If he breaks that contract, then the real Chainsaw Man will appear, and if they defeat him and transplant a human heart into him, then he'll be a normal human again, and he can return to his old life, and that's definitely not a plan that's super convoluted.
Yeah.
Dennis says that in his old life, he had to eat toilet paper when he was starving, so he doesn't want to go back to that. Asa tries to ignore that and says she'll save him no matter what. Meanwhile, Katanaman just says they're all being whiny, and let's just take Dennis to a brothel.
Oh, God. No.
What world building in this chapter?
Oh, it was really good, but also I don't understand their plan.
I mean, we've seen this before, so if Dennis breaks, he does turn into Chainsaw Man, which happened at the end of part 1. So I think they're trying to figure out a loophole by doing that.
What caused him to turn into Pochita at the end of part 1 again?
So this is actually something that's been discussed, is that Denji's contract isn't to live a normal life. It's that Denji has to work on fulfilling his dreams. And so what happened was Denji just kind of gave up on his dreams after Makima killed Power.
Right.
And so that's really what broke him. And it's interesting how everyone's talking about this contract. And so Pochita said that was one of his motivations, but that's not actually what the contract is. So I don't know, though, if it's Fami being sly and knowing that's actually not what the contract is, or she misunderstood, or just somewhere in between. But it's really interesting where the letter of the contract isn't what Fami said.
Okay.
Because, like, for instance, Denji at the start of part 2 is kind of living a superhero life. That is not living a normal life, but that is living the life that Denji dreams of, which is being famous and aspired and loved by everyone. And he does that by literally being a superhero, which is not a normal life in the slightest.
No, that's very true. I mean, David, what is a normal life, right? What does that mean?
Taxes.
Ah, yes. I don't think Denji has to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
I get the sense also that Aza is trying really hard to convince herself that this is the right motive, which, makes sense because, she's like, I'm going to save you. But really, I mean, it's kind of to save herself because she's got Yoru inside her, and this is Yoru's idea.
I also really love, this is an interesting chapter from a world building perspective, which we haven't really seen, which is normal people interacting, where you're like, you just see a mom and her kid and she's wearing an eye patch, buildings are destroyed. All these silent background, like this will be a great chapter animated because it's just pure diegetic world building without a ton of exposition.
Or, it's like just the fact that everybody sees a dead body and they're like, whatever.
Yeah.
It also makes me wonder how long Denji was in that coma.
I think they said it was like a week.
A week. Okay. Yeah, that's not that long. I'm just surprised that why is Denji not as, what's the word? Jaded as the rest? I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting where he's still like, oh no, a dead body. And but Denji's been living in this world for a long time. I would think he of all people would have seen dead bodies and not given a shit because he used to work for the Yakuza.
Yeah, and Denji, has historically not really cared that much about it.
Yeah, I also do love how the Katanaman is just like, let's get our boy laid.
Let's get him laid.
More like Katana-wingman. Ooh-wee.
I don't really think it's a wingman if you're just like, let's take him to a sex worker. I don't think that's really...
Some people, that's the best they can do.
I just feel really bad when I see that because, a lot of Chainsaw Man is Denji trying to figure out how to, get some form of agency over his own sexuality. And it's constantly people trying to manipulate him and pushing sex on him. He wants sex, so it's he's very easily manipulated by it. But we saw with was it Fumiko?
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw with Fumiko where it's he had that whole dream kind of where he was like, you know what, Fumiko? No, you can't control me like this. I'm not gonna do it. But then it turns out that was a dream and he actually...
Yeah, right.
So there is he's aware that he is manipulated, that he is aware that he's controllable like this.
Yeah.
And he knows that it hurts him.
Yeah.
That's why he likes Aza, because kissing her was the only time that kissing didn't hurt. Reze bit off his tongue. Oh my god, I'm forgetting her name, the eye patch girl. Himiko just threw up in his mouth. So it's sad to see. I wonder what's gonna happen next chapter, with that.
Yeah, it's just Denji and his relationship with sexuality is just so weird, and it's definitely something that I think in Jump Plus they can play around with more, so I'll be really interested to see. I also saw on Reddit, someone talked about how Kobeni said that her second choice over being a devil hunter, it was being a sex worker, and also imagine the fact that Denji is currently with Kobeni's brother, so this is maybe the funniest thing of all time.
Fujimoto has the chance to do the funniest thing of all time.
God, he's let him cook. I also think it's interesting how Brobeni kind of passively talks about how poor he is when he said he went to a sushi restaurant and only got tea. I think that was just kind of a way of implying just how poor he and his family is.
Yeah. Also, Denji calls toilet paper poop paper. That's relevant.
Yes, very, very bigly.
Bigly.
A really great joke we didn't talk about is how Asa is like, Dennis is hungry. Also, his daughter is missing. But in that order.
Yeah.
It's interesting how Asa actually does still. It's interesting how Asa seems to actually care about Denji as a person, which is very surprising because I thought she just kind of wants her body back.
I mean, I'm sure she feels a few ways about it because, like, it's been shown. Asa is, like, romantically interested in Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
I mean, she had that poem, which is one of my favorite parts of part 2, where she just has a romantic poem in her head, which apparently her poetry sells now. Like, she's famous for her poetry at this point.
Really?
And Katanaman's a fan? Yeah.
That is great. I mean, Katanaman is just such a stealth, amazing character. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah, and then, Jordan, did you have anything else that you wanted to add?
No.
Okay, well, then, Jordan, I want to say thank you so much for all of your hard work on the show and being a great co-host.
Thank you, David, for all the work that you do on the show as well.
You can find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast, Tumblr Shonen-Flop, and our website shonenflop.com. We're on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. And you can always listen to these episodes early on our Patreon for free. That's right, anyone can. And just a reminder, as we said at the top of the show, we are migrating to our own channel. You can find it at csm.libsyn.com, or you can still find it on YouTube and Patreon where you're already getting it. Props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. Find her online at illuminyatea. And as a reminder, you can join us recording every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern when there's a new chapter out. Find a link to it in the show notes or on our site, and stay tuned for Monday as we do our 4-year anniversary special where we rank everything we read this year and make a master list.
Jesus Christ.
And you know what, though? It was already, someone said I have to say it, so contractually I have to say, you know who's going to be showing up at that brothel, at that soap hotel, Jordan? It is no one else but our favorite Russian bombshell.
No.
And here are my top 5 reasons why I think she's going to be showing up.
Shut up! I'm looking at the clock and it looks like the Chainsaw Man is so fast!
All right, bye.
Bye.